Hey everybody, this is Ryan with South Jersey Yak Fishing. Thanks once again for tuning into my channel. In today's video, the target is sheep's head. The bait is going to be a combo of fiddlers and green crab, and we will be fishing the end of an incoming tide. And we are close to a full moon in October, so the tides are just ridiculous right now. Super high and running way past the scheduled times on the tide table. And I got to give you a little spoiler alert. Although the intended target is sheep's head, we are not going to see any today. We are going to get into a different species, and the bite's going to be pretty aggressive. Now, although I didn't get my intended target, some fun and some interesting things are going to happen during this video. We are going to see, as I said, a very aggressive bite. One of these fish is going to steal my bait right in front of my face. It's kind of funny. As well as I'm going to end up putting something on my jig that typically an angler would not use to try and catch a fish. But yeah, there's no rules. I'm going to catch a fish with it anyway. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that concept and why it works only at certain times. And of course, there's going to be a few tips and observations that I'm going to make along the way. All this and more coming up in this next episode of South Jersey Yak Fishing. If you like this video, hit that like button, smash that notification bell, and please consider supporting me by subscribing to my channel. All right, let's get on with this trip. Okay, so here's tip number one, and it quite simply is just know your tides. And I'm not talking about tide times, I'm talking about tide heights. Especially if you're fishing from a kayak in the spring and the fall. Spring and fall brings some super moons and some crazy tides. And you need to know those tide heights, because the last thing you want is to be driving some half an hour after you packed up all your gear just to arrive at the launch location to find out that your access road is flooded over with salt water that nobody wants to drive their vehicle through. And while we're on this subject, it's probably worth mentioning, if you're fishing an incoming tide, yeah, you need to be able to get out on that access road too. So always be paying attention to that. There we go. What is this? Oh, decent sized tug. He ran out. That was weird. Alright, first taker's a tug, not a sheep. I wonder if that's what's been down there the entire time. It's not a keeping size, but I wasn't keeping any anyway. Just let him go, bye-bye. Kind of let himself go. Alright, so I'll drop this right down in the same spot, see if there's any more tog there. Target really is sheep's head today, but I'll catch tog all day long and have fun. I don't care. Oh, for a second I thought something took it and swam with it. I think I fell off a rock. There we go. They're fighting weird today. Is it just because it's slack tide? They have top lights on, man. Interesting. Oh, he's got a little chew mark there by his gills. Wonder what happened there. Bye-bye. And this next fish is so anxious to be released, he's going to do something that kind of makes me laugh. See if we can't get him to take this tiny little piece of trash bait. When they're aggressive, they'll eat anything. I've had them hit an empty jig before, which is, so maybe we'll try that just to see what happens. There we go. It's another tog. They're fighting hard too, man. They're all fired up today. It's gonna be a good day here. And this one looks like he's a little bigger. He just released himself. All right, that's worthy of a slow motion instant replay. This is actually a very acrobatic move by this tog to dismount himself off that jig. I'm thinking he must have some sort of gymnastics experience. That was hilarious. I barely even got the thing on there. I don't know. I give him a 9.5. What do you guys think? Okay, so during an aggressive tog bite, they will feed as high up in the water column as 3 feet below the surface, and they can steal your bait real fast, just like that. Sometimes when you're dropping to the bottom, they will catch it on the way down, like this next fish. Watch how I realize I need to set the hook when I see slack line, knowing I couldn't possibly be on the bottom yet. Wow, that was weird. I wasn't even ready for him, and he had the jig in his mouth already. I was still futzing around trying to get my placement on the bottom. I didn't realize I had him. Dude, it's crazy when they're this aggressive. Like, I'm hooking them by accident now. I mean, this is the sort of bite that's great for kids because as difficult as Todd can be sometimes, they're just so not difficult right now. It's the easiest time to catch them. Problem is, you just never know when it's going to be like this, but what a beautiful day, man. I'm glad I came out. All right, we're going to try this side here. The tide should have turned already, but the tides have been ridiculous. It's still coming in even after it's supposed to be going the other direction. Oh, what's this? It's a tog that almost went into my trolling motor. I think we're both lucky he didn't. Let's save me some work. All right, bud. Bye-bye. All right, there's still fish on this side. I just put that hook point right through my thumb. That always feels good. Oh, just that fast, dude. Just that fast. That's crazy. It's great when they're that aggressive, but my gosh. I don't even have time to set the damn hook. Sea bass. It's gotta be a sea bass. Well, this is a decent fish here. Nice. Is the tide turned? Because I seem to be going the opposite direction now. Oh yeah, and I think I forgot to mention earlier, I'm controlling my engine with a phone app today as my controller died on the last trip. So I've since then replaced it and everything's back to normal, but yeah, it's nice to have the app as the backup, but it's not my preference. All right, a bad sized tog, I'll let him go. Let me get my bail open. Bye-bye. Very shallow water running here. Yeah, 7 feet. Every time I set my hook, I can see my jig come up. That is a pretty looking female, dude. Very nice. Nice colors. Let her go. Where's my hook out? Bye-bye. All right, so this is kind of cool. Notice I have my bait dangling just below the surface of the water, and right now I'm getting my camera situated. I'm waiting for my head cam to beep, indicating that it's recording, when suddenly... Wow, something took it while I just had it sitting in the water. Son of a... Okay, so knowing how ridiculously aggressive they are right now, I'm grabbing a piece of crab shell, just an empty shell, and I'm fixing that on the jig to see what happens, and we're gonna see some pretty interesting results. I'm gonna put just a shell on there. Let's see if I hit that. And why am I doing this, you might ask? Well, just for fun, really. You remember Pavlov's dog? That experiment involved conditioning a dog to start salivating when he heard the dinner bell. Well, in this case, the dinner bell is the jig, and when these fish see it, they attack it, because there's probably 50 tog down there competing for the same meal, which is the reason that I can get away with doing this. Just the shell. Just the shell. Wow. Dude, these things are pigs, man. They'll eat anything. It's crazy. That's nuts. There you go. Save your shells, boys. That's a decent sized tog ate that shell. That's awesome. Wow. All right, so check this out. This is a very large school of mullet swimming against the tide, and this happens every year in the fall, usually late September, early October, depending upon water temps and other factors. But it's usually responsible for starting that back bay fall striper bite. If I had a cast net, I could have cleaned up. But when striped bass see this, it says one thing: buffet. All right, finally a tog on a green crab. Took long enough. A little tighter to the structure. Probably about 12 inches. Nothing to brag about, that's for sure. Oh wow, nice tog. Nice tog. That barely felt him hit, man. Nice fish. Not a keeper. Probably about the 14-inch range. Go ahead. I ain't seen one in a little while. Okay, so I've been here a little while and the bite has slowed down considerably, so I'm going to stay here and catch a few more fish before I go. But if you happen to be interested in learning more about tog and how to target them at the bridge with jigs, then you really should check out some of my other videos where I go into further detail on the strategies that I use for not only finding these fish, but also how I hook them, which is the hardest part. I will be including links to some of these videos at the end of this one, as well as I'm going to put them in the description below. So make sure you check that out. Nice. They're picking up that jig so lightly. This one actually might be keeper size. Fat female. Not keeping her, but looks like she might be worthy of a measurement anyway. Look, just for fun. Oh wow, she's just really fat and deceiving. 14, not even 13 3/4. Jeez, like not even close, really. That's all right though. That was a fun fight. She fought really hard. Fatter tog fight harder. Chill out. Chill out. All right, that's all for now. Don't forget about those links in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, smash that notification bell, and please consider supporting me by subscribing to my channel. And as I had said earlier, if you're interested in learning the tricks and strategies that I use to target these guys at the bridge with jigs, then you should watch these two tog videos. And keep checking back with South Jersey yak fishing, as the next video is going to be a sheep's head video, and it's going to be a good one. Take it easy, guys. Peace.